Hello and welcome to another video tutorial on database. Today we're going to solve the May-June 2016 paper 2. Task 3 is on database and we're going to use access in solving this question. Here it requires us to produce a report for the company. Now the name of this company is on page 2, so quickly we check. So the name of the company is called Tawala Adventures. So that is the company we are going to produce this report for. Okay, so here the question 20 says that we should import this CSV file into the database. So we're going to do that, and once you import, you make sure that the field names and then the data types match everything right here. So I open access, go to external file, text file, browse for the location of the CSV file. It's on my desktop within the working area right there. So that is it. Double click and click on OK. As we wait for it to load up, we go to next. The first row contains a field name, so we check it and go to next. Go to next. The question gave us the primary key for this particular question. So here it says that the course code field should be used as the primary key. So go straight back and say choose my own primary key, and automatically access will choose that for you. And then you click on advanced and make sure that the data types match each field name that you have. The first three we have here is text, and rating is number. So we check the first four. So text, number here for rating is long, so let's change it to integer instead of long integer. A long integer value is just a large number value, but we just for this work we have to use just integer. Then we check the next one from location all the way to duration. Location is text and the rest are integer, the same as number. Course here could be numeric or currency, so we change the course to currency and change this to text, that to boolean, and that to integer. So we'll do that quickly. So this should be text, this should be logical, which is the same as yes, no. This should be currency, so we change this to currency, and then we change this to number, so which is integer. So once those changes have been made, you can just double check that is currency, integer, yes, no, and that is text. All right, so everything is in place, and so we click on OK and click on next. Since it's a table, we just put TBL in front and click on finish. All right, and you close. Well, your table has been imported without any error. So you double click on the table, go home, and then view, go to design view, and then make sure that you change the under the field properties, you change the residential and the format to yes, no. So you come there and check yes, no. Currency here also should be in 2 decimal place, so we're going to change that to 2 decimal place. And then the format here should be currency, and that is euro. Okay, so you check euro for the currency, and that is it. That is all we have to change within this place, because here it's mentioned that the currency should be in euro and it should be in 2 decimal place, and that is what we have just done. So at this point we are done with the first question 20. The next thing we are supposed to do is to save it and take a screenshot into our evidence document. So go quickly to that and then take a screenshot. So to take the screenshot, I click on the snipping tool, go to new, and then I just take a screenshot for just this session, copy it, or I can just cut and then go to the evidence document, question 20, and then paste it right there. I can format this just by taking off this part and making it legible. So just pull it from the bottom and make it legible. So that is the field names and their data types for question 20. All right, so we go on to the next question, which is question 21. Question 21 says that we should create a data entry form which will include all fields from the table we have, and then it will also include a drop down for the locations we have here. All right, so we'll go back to access, click on save, and then close the table. All right, so to create a form, we'll go to create, and then we'll use the first tool we see here that says form, and click on form. Once you click on form, it will automatically create a form with all the field names listed right there. Okay, so we have to make change on the location because the question mentioned that we should make a drop down menu into the location field to accept only these locations. So we're going to do that. So to demonstrate that, I'll go to the design view, and that is where you can make the changes. So I click on location and hit delete. All right, then I go to the design view under form design tools and choose the, within here you have this symbol here represent the combo box. The combo box is used for the drop down menu, so I just click on it, and you should see the combo box as you come to the location you want to fill in. So you just drag and drop the combo box. Right now, once you do that, a pop-up menu will appear this way. That's it. I want the Congo box to get the values from another table or query. That is not what we want to do. I want to type in the value that I want. So here we want to type in the values that we want. So we click on that and go to next. And the table is open for you to type in the name of the locations that you want. So the name of the locations we have here is Cornwall, which is the first one. The second location we have from the question is Ireland and Scotland. So Ireland, then we go to Scotland, and then we check the other two. We have Wales and then France, so we type in Wales, and then the last one is France. Now as you type in the name of the countries, you will realize that a new field is automatically created for you as you keep typing, right? So now all the countries or locations have been typed in, so you go to next, and then you go to next. Now the name of the Congo box here, the label for it should be location, so we type in here location, and you will see from this part that it's labeled as combo 28, which you change to location. So that is why you have to type in here the label as location and click on finish. So you can see that once I did that, the label here has changed to location. So all I have to do here is to readjust the label for it to look at the rest, just like the rest of the labels, just to be in alignment. I can go to the layout view and also do the adjustment there. So I'll close this bit and then readjust this by clicking on it, and once I see those two arrows, I drag and pull it there. Okay, so here we are done with the location as we need to do. All right, so let's see what the next question wants us to do. The next question says we should take a screenshot. Okay, so here you need place in your evidence document a screenshot to show the drop-down menu and how you have limited data entry to these 5 values. Okay, so to do that, we go to access again, and once we go to access, we'll demonstrate that. So we go to access, and we'll go to the design view. From here, the form, we'll go to the design view, and under the design view, make sure you click on the Congo box you just created for label and hit on property sheets. Now when you hit on property sheets, you find that you have data here, and then the row source has the name of the locations that are entered. So to make it legible or everything to show, I just drag it a little and I see the name of all the locations appearing there. So I'm going to take a screenshot of this session and display it in that. So I go to new and then take a screenshot all the way down there. That is all I need. So I copy, go to the evidence form, and then paste it right there. So that is the evidence for the field, showing how data is entered. Okay, how data entry is limited. So this is how the data entry is limited using the Congo box. All right, now we'll go back to the question, and we have to do a few changes here. Now if you look here, the name of the company should be the label for the form. So we're going to just delete that and then go to and then find the name of the company and paste it there. So the name of the company is this, and so I just copy it and come and paste into the heading for. So that will become the name of the form because we are creating it for a company, right? So having finished this, you click on save, and then you save it as a form and click on OK. So the form has been created right there, and the heading of the form is that. So we are done with question 21. So we go to the form view, and this is how the form view looks like. Okay, now you can see that with all this table, this is the only place I have a drop down, and this is where I can select the locations from. Okay, so let's go to the next question and see what we are expected to do. The next question is on page 6, so I'll go to page 6. All right, so I'm done with question 21. So I just use the highlighter to highlight to show that I'm done with 21. Then go straight to 22. 22 says that I should add a record to the table using the form. So I'm going to add this record to the form. All right, so to do that, I go back to my access, and the form is already open. Once you want to enter a new record, you click on the arrow here with the yellow sign. So click on it, take us to a place to enter in a new record. Okay, so we go and then just want to copy and paste the information I have here into my form. So I paste it there, go to the next bit, which is zip cut, and then I have water for. So the next one is water, so, and then I have for, and then the location is Cornwall, so I just select that, and the want to check the next bit of information. We have residential is yes, and then course, the course here is 471, and then duration is 6, so we do that. So this become yes, which is the same as 1, and this is 471 and duration is 6. Okay, so I've entered in the information in the form as I'm required to do. Now I want to find from the question what I need to do before I go on. It said we should check the data we've entered for errors. So all you have to do is to make sure you check if what you've typed in matches exactly what is here. All right, so if you check, you realize that everything is entered. So the next thing you have to do is to save the data. That is just to click on the save button, and here it says that place in your evidence document screenshot showing this data in your form. So I have to take a screenshot of all this and place it in the evidence. So I go to new, and all the way from form, I take a screenshot for this part, copy it, and then paste in the evidence document, which is question 22. Okay, so yeah, form completed with new record. So paste it right there, and that is it for question 22. All right, so let's check what we need to do next. All right, so that is it for question 22. So we can check it and then move on to the next question, which is 23. All right, so let's see what question 23 requires us to do. Question 23 says that evaluate the design of your form, the design of your data entry form. All right, so all you have to do is to look at this data entry form and give the advantages or disadvantages of using the form. So here, one thing I can say is that the use of the location will reduce errors. So it will help to reduce errors when I'm typing in new records. That is one. And so you can also think of other advantages that comes with the form. Here it includes a title. Here we're not giving enough information as to what we need to use as the heading for the form. So we can also say that the question did not provide much information about the creation of the form. So that is also one disadvantage. You can stay there. And so we've given one advantage and one disadvantage. You can also give other points. Now, having done this, for the form to accept it, all you need to do is to click on this arrow that says that the one that says next record. So once you click on next record, it has accepted the information you have. So initially we had 301, now it has increased to 302. So we've entered in the record that we just typed in. Right, so question 23 says that we should type into our evidence document using no more than 50 words. So everything I have said just right now, you just type it there, and that answers 23. 24 says that import the file. We need to import this file here again into the same table. All right, so and then we have to set the rating activity rating field as a primary key. So to do that, we go straight to access again. So all I have to do is to click on save, and then I'll close this form. All right, so to import a new table again, I go to external file, text file, browse for the location, and then I want to cross-check what I need to import. So I have to import ratings. So ratings.csv, so that is it. Double click on it and go to OK. Go to next. Here we have this here, different from what is there. So first row contains field names. We go to next. When you look at this question, there's no information about the data types and then the field names, what we need to change. So you don't worry your head about that. So you go to next, and then you choose a primary key. So here you can see the activity rating has been chosen as a primary key. You go to next, and since this is also a table, all I have to do is to put TBL and then hit on finish and close. The next bullet point says we need to create a relationship between the two tables. So to create the relationship, you go to database 2 and hit on relationship. So once you do that, the relationship will show here as I have, and click on table, show table if it is not showing. All right, so you add the first table and then add the second table and close it. To display everything in the table, you just drag and then make sure everything in there is showing. So we are supposed to link within the rating field in the first table to activity rating field in the second table. So all I have to do is to click on rating and then drag it to activity here, and so rating and activity has been created. So here I can see one to many. It's very important to always check if the relationship you are creating is right, and once it's correct, you click on create, and the one to many relationship have been created, so you click on save and then close the table. That was quick. So to call it back, all I need to do is go back and click on my relationship and it comes back. So this is a relationship between the two tables. Okay, all right, so the next question says we should take a screenshot showing the relationship between the two tables. So in taking a screenshot, new, and then take a screenshot of this part, copy it, and then paste it into, so you paste it here in step 24, and then paste it right there, and we are done with step 24. So we move straight to step number 25. Step number 25 says that we should produce a report. So we're going to produce a report and we're going to use the two tables. So first of all, let's call in the two tables. So close this and save. Yes. Go to create. To create a report, you need a query. So I use a query wizard. Click on OK. This is the first table, so I call in everything. Use the second table, and then I bring in everything and go to next. And since this is a query, I'll just leave it as that and say modify and finish. Okay, right, so I have to look at the next information. The first bullet point says that contains a new field called daily cost, which is calculated at runtime and displays currency and displayed as currency. The field to calculate cost. So this here, the cost divided by duration here are the two fields we'll be using for this calculation. Okay, so these two fields will be used for the calculation, and the name of the field should be called daily cost. So to do that, I go to a new field. So this is a new field, and I can do it in two ways, either to use a builder or to type in. So to click on the builder, this is what I have. So I double click on cost, and then divided by duration, and then double click on duration and click on OK. So I have typed in that, and we know that the name of this field should be this, which is daily cost. So I'll type in the name of the field as daily cost. So here, go back to access, and then this part we say SPR1. Anytime you use a builder, that will come as the field name, but then you always have to make sure you change it. So in this case, I have daily, and this is an underscore because you are in access. Okay, any compiled word is separated with an underscore. So daily cost is typed in nicely, and so you have to check to see if the field you created is working. So you click on run, and there it is, it's working. So we had that correct. So we move straight to the next question, the next bullet point, and here it says that it should display in currency, and so quickly we have to do that bit. So go back to the design view. So at the design view here, we click on that field, go to properties, right click and go to properties, and then under the format here you choose currency, and the currency is in euro, so make sure you choose euro and click on run. So once you do that, you find out that the currency sign is attached to that, and everything is in 2 decimal place. Okay, all right, so we are done with that part bullet point, so we can go to the next one. The next bullet point says that shows only the record. So the record we have here is water type, residential is yes, duration is 12 days or less, and then exclude those activity located in Scotland. So we have to do this bit of information within the criteria in the, so we look for type, which is the field, okay, and another field we want to select water, want to type in water under criteria. So we go to, once again, the design view. So under the design view, we don't need this again. So design view, I locate type. So this is type. Under criteria, I type in water. That's the first thing I need to do. The second one is residential should be yes. So residential under criteria, I type in yes. And the next one, information, is duration should be 12 or less. So duration should be less or equal to 12. Okay, and then we go to the next information. It said exclude those activity located in Scotland. So again, we look for location and say not Scotland. So if it is not included in Scotland, all you have to type is not Scotland. So once you type in that, it will exclude everything which has Scotland. So let's run the query to see if what we've said is correct. So under location, you can find that we don't have any Scotland within the records. And again, we have only type to be water, and then the residential here is yes, and then the duration here is 12 and below. We don't have anything above 12. All right, so we've answered that part of question 25. Now the next part says shows only the field course code, location, activity, level, duration, residential, and daily costs. Okay, in this order with data and label display in full. So you come to the design view again. So under the design view, we make sure we have only those information unchecked. So here the first one is course code. So course code should not be unchecked. The next one should be residential. So we don't need that. We don't need that. We don't need that. Location, I think we have location. We level duration, we didn't see cost. I'm not sure of residential. Okay, we have residential, and then daily cost. So we don't have this. We have level, we don't have description, and daily cost. So we have run, and so I have course code, activity, location, residential, duration, level, and then that. Okay, and here we are told that in the order with the data and label display in full. Okay, so we can actually swap the locations of the fields for them to follow the same order here, but we'll leave it here for the main. So here the next bullet point says that we should sort the data into ascending order of activity, and then within ascending order of location. So so here what I have to do is to go to the design view. So at the design view, under location, I'll sort in ascending order, and then look for activity. So within this field we have activity here, and go to that and also sort in ascending order, and then I run. Okay, so I have sorted the two information in ascending order. All right, so go to the next point, which says has a page orientation. Now this part here is the report. So what I quickly do here is to save my work and then close this query, and then I go to create, use the report wizard, and then I select the query that I've just created. So query and say bring in. So go to next, the page orientation of the query here. Once again, I can sort here, but I can just leave it activity and then location in ascending order. Go to next. You cannot sort a field more than once. Okay, oh come on. So here we're supposed to select location, not activity again. So we go to next, and then here the orientation is landscape from the question. So from the question, the orientation is landscape and filled on a single page. So, and we go to next, and then the name of this report here, we can just leave it as a report, and then we'll do the changes later. So this is just a report, modify, and click on finish. Okay, now at this part here we have to include, it said filled on a single page, and here it talks about calculate the total course code in the selection position, and then under the course column. All right, so here we have to do that calculation, and then we'll move on to the rest. So I'll go to the layout view, and under the layout view I have to do some adjustment. So here I click on course, and then on the shift key, and then bring these two close, it's too far, and then do the same for the residential. Just make sure everything is well displayed, and then do the same for location, duration, sorry, and then the daily course here, I make sure everything is also showing. Okay, so here you right click on the course code, and since it's just code, all you need to do is to count it. So you come to this bar that say total course code, and click on records of total records, so count records or count values. So here I'll just click on the second one, which says count values. So when you go down there, you can see the total number right there, and all I have to do is to right click and go to set caption. So the set caption here will give me the title of the code here, so I can just readjust this and then also readjust that. Right, so once the adjustment is done, the next thing to do is to check what I need to put in there. So it's a calculate the total number of course code in the selection. That is what we've done. So calculating the total number, it simply means count them. Okay, and then here again it says that has the label total. Here it says that total water code. So here all you have to do is to select that and place it right there. So I go to the report again, and here instead of that I right click and highlight everything there, just delete what is in there, and then put in that caption total water code, and that becomes the code for this session here. All right, now the next point here says that includes the report title. So this should be the title or the heading of the report. So the heading of this report here, we will do that within the, so once again we go to home, under the design view we'll do this change. So double click in there and then change the name of this report. So just delete what is there, and then type in the name of the report as residential activity, and that becomes the heading of the report. Okay, so having included the heading of the report, the next thing here says we should enter in our name, center number, and candidate number at the bottom of the report and save it. So we'll go back to the report. So this is the page footer of the report. So I just put the cursor there. Once I see the cross sign, I drag it slightly down. So once it's slightly down, I use this AB, that is the label, drag and drop. First of all, you have to find the position where you are supposed to put your name. So it should be at the bottom, so they didn't state any location. So the bottom, all you have to put there is your name, your candidate number, and then you put in your center number, and then you are done. All right, so once you enter in that information, you have to check the layout to make sure every information will be displayed. Okay, so if you scroll all the way down here, you can find your name, okay, center number and candidate number displayed there. You can find the total code there. It's quite far from each other, so you can just readjust it here and do the same for the label. All right, so just bring it very close, and that is it. So you are done with the report. So the next thing to do is to print the report. So to click, you have to go back and go to the print preview to make sure everything is showing. So the print preview looks good. Okay, so all I have to do here is to click on the printer and then click on OK, and then I have printed the report as is required. Okay, so we are done with the report for this. Save and print the report, and that is what we've done. And so all you have to do is to save, and then I can close this part of the table. All right, so we are done with question 25. So please, in your evidence document, screenshot showing the formula used to calculate the total number of activity. All right, so here the total number of activity, the formula used was just count. Okay, so you go back to the table. This is the report we use, so double click on the report, go to the design view and go all the way down to this place, bring it down, and you have this section here, make it legible. Just bring it down. Okay, so the formula we use in producing the count is this. So all you have to do is to take a screenshot of that session. So I'll take a screenshot to display that. So that is a screenshot, copy and then paste that screenshot. So calculate formula with screenshot. So I paste that here, and that is it. So it's just count and use course code. All right, so we are done with question 25. So go back and then to the report view. That's okay. So we go back to question. We are done with question 25. So we go to the next question, which is question 26. Question 26 talks about producing to produce an extract, or we're going to produce an extract from the table. And to produce an extract from the table, we will use a query to do that. There is an alternative way of getting the same thing done, but for this particular work, we will use the query to do that. All right, so we will go back to our database, create, and then name it, use a query wizard, click on OK. And we want to see the things we need for the query. Here, this talks about the course. These are the activities. The first here talks about the activity, the location, and then the rating. So we'll put those first in. So the first one is the activity. We have the location, and then we have the rating. The rating is in the other table, so you pick it from there. I can just quickly bring everything and use the first table. So we use activity from here, location, excuse me, and then use rating. And then the next information here talks of, say we should show only the field course code, and then the course cost. All right, so I will include the course code, follow with the cost. I don't need all the information right there, so this few will be okay, and I click on next. I can leave this as extract instead of query, so I write extract right there, and then click on modify and finish. Okay, the first one is, suppose we have to show this bit of information, which is sky or snow. So we copy that, or you type in sky or snow in there, and because the information you are searching for, you have to use the wildcard search. So you put this in quotation mark, put the asterisk, so shift asterisk before and after to show that any word that contains sky should be shown. And then I put this in a speech mark, so, and then bring the asterisk every word that starts with snow and end with snow, and close it with the speech mark. And then the location here under criteria should be France. I just want to expand that a little for everything to show. And then the location here it's located in France, so we type in France. And then the rating is 5, so rating is 5, so you just type in 5 and the rating. And then the other information says show only the field. Okay, so the field rating, course code, and then the cost need to show. The remaining information are not needed. And then we are asked to sort the cost in ascending order. So here I'll sort the cost in ascending order. So go to cost and click on ascending order. All right. We don't need to show rating, and then we don't need to show what else? Activity, only activity, course code, and course code. Okay, so we don't need to show location. So those are the 3 information we need to show. And so by unchecking it, it means they will not show. Okay, so the next evidence we need to show here is says that show the criteria used to select the required records. So those are the criteria we've used in selecting the records. So I have to take a screenshot. So taking a screenshot, I highlight just this part here. We talked about the criteria, copy it, and then paste it under question 26 under the evidence, the steps 26 for evidence. So that is the bit of information we need to type into 26. And then the last bullet point says that save this data so that it can be imported into document and save in step 19. All right, so we'll go to the database again, and we will run to see if what we have done is correct. Okay, so the information we have inserted is correct. Excuse me. So for we need to sort the cost in descending order, not ascending order. So that's a mistake we have to correct. So I change that to a descending order and then run. So when you do that, these are the information we have. And let's check the last question to see what we need to do. So yeah, so we are done with this step. All we need to do is to import the table into the document. So to import the table into document, we have to come to the external data, and then when you go to external data, you come to more, and then more you go to Word, and then you browse. Want to export this into the destination, so open the destination file after you have export, and the export is complete. So I want to check the destination folder file, so I want to save it on the desktop and click on OK. And want to change the format, so changing it from rich text, I want to change it to document. So I can leave it for now this way and just click on OK and wait for it to be imported into document. All right, so It's opening. All right, so that is it. The table has been imported into Word for us. So all we need to do is to copy this and paste it in step 19 of the exams question. Right, so that brings us to the end of access for the paper 2 of 2016 May-June paper. I encourage you to watch the tutorial carefully and practice it again and again, because most of the things here might not come easily to you, so you have to watch and then practice. So to it again next time. Bye bye.